You guys were back. Second show of the week. Javon, Sean, just us two today. No special guests. We got a lot to talk about. Some NBA. Definitely the NBA. Whew. Javon, what's good, man?
Not much, man. WrestleMania weekend snuck up on me. I got reminded because I'm sitting here scrolling through social media and I see Shawn Michaels is on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. And this morning I see Jey Uso whooping Cameron's ass on it.
I love it. I love it. First of all, I gotta say something. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart were my favorite wrestlers when I was growing up. Bret's off the scene, but I still like Shawn doing pop-ups here and there. Like I saw him do something with Sexy Red the other day. And I'm like, I love Shawn guy because Shawn made me a big fan of wrestling. Like I loved his theme music and everything like that. The charisma he used to have was top notch. Top notch.
Shawn, Bret, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, and I got a few names tied for fifth in terms of best performers the industry has ever seen.
Damn, you don't got Triple H on that list?
No. Yo, Triple H, I got you right here, Sean, because you know that wrestling was my first love. Triple H ain't never had a good match that didn't involve the use of a foreign object.
That's true. I can't, well, off the top of my head, that's probably very true. When he won the sledgehammer, he'll go grab something to
steel cage match, Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber, go get a sledgehammer, go get a steel chair, Evolution interfere for him, DX interfere for him. Nah, Triple H could not work on his own. No.
I would say this. I completely agree with you. Bret Hart was the best technical wrestler I ever seen in my life.
Easy.
Like easily the best technical wrestler
no one ever came close to him besides Kurt Angle.
Yes, besides Kurt. But I agree. Bret, I was like, man, this guy can really, he made it look realistic as much as possible. He was the best technical I ever seen. Not even close. He was my favorite.
Hold on. There's one more in that conversation. The man of 1,000 holds, Dean Malenko. He had to be in that convo too.
Dean Malenko was in that convo. He definitely was in that convo. Dean Malenko. Damn, you're bringing me back to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dean Malenko. I haven't heard Dean Malenko's name in a minute. I think he gets overlooked because we don't look at him in like that tier of wrestlers.
He was in the mid card for his whole career.
Yeah, he was just never a superstar yet. But that's we're back on memory lane.
All right. Well, I think the Magic need a trip back to memory lane. They need better days. The Orlando Magic have not won a playoff series, Sean, since losing to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2010. After a blowout loss last night. Last night. They now find themselves in a do-or-die game in the play-in against a Hornets team that beat them 3 times this season. Desmond Bane, in 40 minutes, had a 30 ball and shot 67% from 3, while his team shot less than 30% overall from 3. The offseason acquisition is doing his job. Meanwhile, Paolo Banchero went 7 for 22 and 0 for 5 from 3 in the loss to Philadelphia. Sean, a report surfaced before the game that a superstar who we believe to be Paolo Banchero is willing to go as far as to demand a trade if Jamal Mosley is not fired this summer. Your thoughts on what's going on in Central Florida?
Yeah, you could definitely see a disconnect. Too much talent on that team. Before the regular season started, I think I had them like 4th or 5th in the East. Bane has definitely lived up to the trade. Bane has played really good, borderline all-star material this year. But there's something about Banchero that hasn't connected. I said it on the show a couple of days ago, and then I watched the game yesterday, and then I saw that there was a list of overrated. First of all, Brandon Ingram is not the most overrated player in the league. But when I saw that and Banchero was on the list, that's how I've been feeling. I thought him and Evan Mobley would take the step this year, and neither of them have taken the step. Like, neither of them have been more impressive than Michael Porter Jr. has been more impressive to me than those guys this year. I know he's playing on a bad team, jacking up shots and stuff like that, but he's just been more impressive because I didn't expect him to be able to do what he's done. I expected more from Paolo, and I'm watching this game yesterday, and I'm like, what does he do specifically well? I don't think he's a great mid-range shooter. I don't think he's a great post player. I don't think he's a great three-point shooter. He's not a great passer. He's a good player for his circumstances. He's their franchise player. But I'm a big believer every team could have their franchise player, but doesn't mean you are a franchise player. And those two different things. With that type of talent, I thought a couple years ago, him and Franz Wagner was going to actually take that step and be like a contenders to Boston's Tatum or Brown, because they had that hot all-star. Was it? Yeah, 2 years ago before the All-Star game. They both should have been all-stars. They were trending to that path, and then they got injured. It just doesn't work. So basically, we all know it's Mosley or him. They had to let Mosley go. And I know they rumored to be a candidate for the New Orleans Pelicans job. He's going to bounce back. He's going to get a job somewhere else. But I do think I don't see any innovation with the offense. They can't shoot. They slipped defensively. They were second last year. I think they're the 10th or 11th. There's no calling card on that team. So, and I don't know why not buy anybody else. I'm going for the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow night. I'm going to be rooting for the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow night to come and win that last playoff spot.
I mean, we picked the Hornets on the podcast Tuesday for the very reasons that you pointed out. The Magic under Jamal Mosley, I mean, they might as well take the two O's out of Orlando because they've got no offense.
Yeah.
I mean, they can play all the defense in the world when they're locked in. Even when they're not locked in, they're still a good defensive team. We just criticize them for not being as good as they were. But offensively, it's either they miss their open shots or they can't get an open shot. It's no in between. So does Mosley have to go from that standpoint? Yes. But, I mean, Paolo Banchero, you got to have some accountability, man. His scheme ain't got nothing to do with your inability to be a consistent jump shooter. That's got nothing to do with him. You're missing your open shots. You're not creating for yourself in the mid-range, which was supposed to be your calling card. Paolo Banchero's game was supposed to be, I can give you everything you want from 18 feet and in. And then when I get going, I can pick and pop and start knocking down the open catch shot three. That has not been him lately. And I don't want to see all this, The worst thing that happened to him was people saying, oh, he's got a play style similar to LeBron. No, he does not. He doesn't. And we got to stop this whole thinking that's some good type of play style. Sean.
No, I heard the Melo comparison way too much.
And that's just, no. And we got to break this down with the guys like a LeBron James and a Luka Doncic, because this is where analytics has ruined the game to where they don't know what they're talking about. And you're not going to think analytics and what I'm about to say has anything to do with each other until I get to them. So let me come around the bend on this one. So with analytics, the league is turned into a 3-point shootout, right?
Mm-hmm.
And get as many attempts up as you can, because the makes are better than twos. You can get 6 points quicker from 2 threes rather than 3 twos, right?
Yep.
So you'd rather, they say I'd rather go 2 for 5 from 3 instead of 3 for 6 from 2, right? What they don't tell you with that is a good team 3-point percentage is 36%, right, Sean?
Yep.
You make 36 shots out of 100. How many did you miss?
For 64.
You missed 64.
Yeah.
So if I take them 64 attempts that you missed, and I say instead of trying to get in the shootout, I'll just go take what I can get. Out of them 64, I can go get it 232 times. I can go get 64 points that you left on the board. But analytics won't tell you that. That's how dumb analytics is. Analytics also loves the possession game.
Yes.
How can you love the 3-point shootout and chuck them up game and the possession game, right? And then your analytics show that LeBron James and Luka Doncic are good for your team, when these are guys who will hold the ball and dribble the clock out to the point where you're using so much shot clock, the amount of possessions you can get shrinks. It's the reason why when the Rockets were hot, teams said, let James Harden do his thing. Because we will get 2 possessions to their every one. Because they're not getting the shot up until 6 seconds left on the shot clock. You're not going to get many possessions in the game like that. Now, all we have to do is run. So he can get his 37. That's fine. But guess what? We got way more possessions than Houston, which shot so many threes. and we took what we can get, you're going to look up and we're going to beat them by 8-9 points. But analytics don't tell you all that, right? You get to the Magic, they play slow. They have an ISO guy in Paolo, but the issue is with him, you don't get the efficiency of the made shots that you would get from a Harden, LeBron, or a Luka, on top of not getting the possessions. On top of you can't make the threes, and now all I got to do is get out and run and just take the points that you left on the board.
Good point. Great point, actually.
It's just not good.
It's not good basketball. Do you feel like they're because I don't think Banchero or Franz Wagner are great creators. So their lack of point guard is exposed in that offense.
And severely. Hold on. See, now this comes back to people not watching college basketball, and then you're surprised that the Celtics draft grade every year. Yeah, because Brad Stevens was the head coach at Butler and led the Bulldogs to their best stretch in program history. And Brad Stevens watches college basketball. So he can tell you, like I can tell you, that Luka Garza is actually a good player, and that Baylor Shireman is actually a good player, that Max Shoga, who hasn't gotten his chance yet, but believe me, he'll be on the way soon, is a good player. I'll give him credit on this one, because this is one I did not like. Jordan Walsh. He took a chance on him, turned into a very good 3-and-D for that team.
Very good.
But then you got teams like Orlando where you can tell nobody in that front office watches college ball because they drafted Jalen Suggs to be the point guard.
Yeah.
Jalen Suggs was not the point guard at Gonzaga. Joe Ajayi was the point guard at Gonzaga. Did they split bringing the ball up? Yes. But Joe Ajayi was the point guard at Gonzaga. The Bulldogs were not some great team when Suggs was forced to create all the time. Because that's what Baylor turned them into. They turned him into a passer rather than a scorer. And they got him in foul trouble. And that's how that national championship game became a blowout. But you don't pay attention. You draft him to be a point guard, and you're wondering why you can't create any offense. Because he's not a real point guard. He's a combo.
Yeah.
Anthony Black was never a full-time point guard in college. Now he's supposed to be one in the NBA.
When your best creator is Desmond Bane, you got a problem.
And Desmond Bane has been a scorer his entire basketball life. His thing at TCU was he was the best perimeter bucket in the Big 12 without a doubt. Yeah. But hey, worst ever front offices, man.
Orlando definitely would be in the running if Billy Donovan decides to go leave Chicago. They need someone who can.
If I'm Billy, I'm telling you though, hey, you got to get me a point guard in the center. Because that's another thing. You're not winning anything with Wendell Carter and Goga Batadze as your two centers.
Yeah, those are two weaknesses. Even though I think I would break up Banchero and Wagner. I don't think it's a good fit. You got to choose between one. You got to pick one of them. And I probably would take Banchero just because I think he's a better player. But you got to move off on those guys. I just don't think it's a great fit at all. They need a point guard. I like Suggs. If Suggs was in the Klay Thompson quote unquote role, that's the number 2 guy, and you got a point guard next to him. But then you're really small because then Bane will move to the 3. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Suggs has to be a 6-man. So you have to accept if you paid that much money for a 6-man. Bane at the 2, Paolo at the 4, and then you're figuring out what you're doing at the 1, 3, and 5.
Suggs is getting $150 million to come off the bench. You know how you said bad, like you said, worst ever front offices? That would be egg on the face type of thing. If I had a horrible contract. And I think he's a really good player.
And I like Jalen Suggs.
Yeah, me too. But just the wrong team. If I had him next to, just say, New York, and he was next to Brunson, and he would guard all the point guards and stuff like that, I like that type of thing. But I don't like him being your lead guard. It doesn't make sense.
With Josh Hart. I'll be honest with you, you could put him on the Lakers next to Luka and Reeves, and it would work.
Yeah, it would work. Absolutely. That would be perfect. Perfect. It'll be better upgrade than Marcus Smart at this point.
But Orlando is not the situation. Just not.
Nah,
you could put him next to Cade Cunningham in Detroit if you wanted to. And speaking of Detroit, I would love if next season Donis Jenkins and Cade Cunningham start next to each other. And you let Jenkins be the point guard and let Cade go get his buckets. Because that little wall Cade went into after the All-Star break, Yeah, because he was trying to facilitate too much. Let Cade go be a bucket.
I think Detroit's going to, and we'll talk about a little bit more. I think Detroit's going to get a rude awakening come postseason time, like the Rockets did last season. Because I don't think you'll be able to create. Yeah, you could be great defensively, but when you can't create, when the games get more physical and slows down, these games have been more physical in the play-in tournament. They're going to be more in the postseason. I think that's going to be the Detroit's problem.
Yeah, Tobias Harris is your second best isolation scorer behind Cade Cunningham. Ask people in Philly how that's going.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. But the Magic got some real issues. They have to figure out like who's the pieces, because this iteration of team, I don't care what coach you get, it doesn't work.
No. All right. Sean, you touched on Detroit. Let's predict these playoff series. So you got Detroit against the winner of tomorrow night's game between Orlando and Charlotte. We both chose Charlotte to win that game.
Yep.
You've got Boston and Philly. And we want Boston. No, y'all don't. No. You got Cleveland and Atlanta.
No,
you got Cleveland and Toronto, excuse me.
Yep.
Excuse me. And then you got the Knicks in Atlanta. So we'll start off with the Eastern Conference.
All right, so I'll go from top to bottom. Detroit, Charlotte, I think it goes 6 games. I think, my boy LaMelo, I love LaMelo, but man, that was tough to watch on a couple nights ago. He does not play winning basketball.
One leg shot. You're not like in the postseason. One leg step back threes.
It's just
not. Then you look up and he's got 30 and 10 and only 3 turnovers. So he can pass the ball at a postseason level.
Yeah,
but the shot selection just is not there.
That was against Miami, which we both believe was not a really good team. No, I don't believe against the Detroit team. I think they'll win. First of all, I got to say this. I love to see Charlotte and Atlanta. Actually, I want Charlotte to eventually get to that level, and we'll see what Atlanta does with this draft pick. But those two cities, it was good to see Charlotte lively and fun the other day. It felt like, wow. When I was growing up, that's how Charlotte used to be. Like, it was just a lively hometown, home base. So hopefully that stays together. And I think Atlanta has untapped potential here. So that's just, I digress with that. But I do think, I just can't see LaMelo win a postseason season. He needs to go through that experience in that turmoil. So I got Detroit in 6 games.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's going to keep the Hornets from winning in 7 is exactly that with LaMelo. Detroit's defense is going to get every bad decision out of him. It's that. I mean, I hate to put it like that, but it's the truth. Detroit's defense is going to get every bad decision it can out of LaMelo. Now, I don't think Detroit makes it past the semifinals, but they will beat the Hornets because that's the best matchup they could have gotten out of every team in the play-in.
Yeah, I think Philly. I think they could beat Orlando, but I think Philly would be.
They could beat Orlando, but I think beating Orlando would be more difficult than beating Charlotte.
Yeah, it's just a contrast of styles, and I just think if LaMelo was your 2 guard, not your point guard, maybe, but he's your point guard. That's a tough ask to ask him play winning basketball for 2 months. I just don't see it.
In Con Knipple, I think you learned, buddy, you ain't going to get all them open threes. Oh, yeah. So again, rookie of the year is Cooper Flagg. The guy who go get it done on his own is always better than the guy who needs to be set up. I don't even know why we had that conversation on Tuesday.
First of all, Connor can create more than people expect. He averaged 18 points. It wasn't all 3-pointers.
Can he create as good as Cooper Flagg?
Absolutely not.
Can he create for others as well as Cooper Flagg?
No, Cooper's on a different level.
As well as Cooper Flagg?
Absolutely not.
So what are we over here talking about?
But are we talking about rookie of the year, or are we talking about better player? There's 2 different things. We know Cooper's a franchise player.
Better player and better season is rookie of the year. And Cooper Flagg was both. Khan's team had a better season. Khan individually did not have a better season than Cooper Flagg. But
Khan changed the culture in Charlotte, so I think we have to add that.
Lord have mercy. Sean, you dragged that a little too far, man.
I saw the article. The article said the same thing.
I hear you. Come on.
I didn't make that up.
On the floor, who was the better player? it was Cooper Flagg.
I would say this about Cooper. I'm not mad if Cooper wins it. Cooper's gonna be a top 10 player in like 2-3 years. I'm not mad about that. But I would say this: Cooper was, after he came back from his injury, a little shot happy, and I think it was a lot of focus. Hey, let's get him his points so he can get, because he was behind that race when he was gone for like almost a month, and then it was like, all right, it coincided with Knipple not playing good over the last month. So yeah, if you want to give it a Cooper, give it a Cooper. But I do think the last 10-day games, he was not playing the most all-around basketball that he was.
Cooper averaged 21 and 7 with 4.5 assists on 47% shooting. You know how hard it is for a rookie to score 47% from the field? Now, his free ball wasn't there, rookie Dan. He was less than 30%, but that'll get up there.
Yeah.
47%, 21.7 boards, 4.5 assists on 47% shooting as a rookie. Come on, man. I ain't trying to hear that. You look at Khan, 18.5 points, 5 boards, 3.5 assists. I ain't going for that, man. I ain't going for that.
That's fine. I think it's close to, but again, if Cooper can't even shoot a lick right now, that's how good he's going to be. That kid's going to be special. I'm not mad. Khan will be, him and Melo, they're calling them the new Splash Brothers. That's the article, because they led the league in three-pointers. Maybe it's going to be a fun, he brings a type of seriousness Charlotte needs. Again, he's not Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg's better than, we were just talking about, I think Cooper Flagg's better than Paolo Banchero. I do. I think he's better than Brandon Ingram. I do. I gotta be honest. If you told me who to take, I'm gonna take Cooper. Cooper will be one of the top 10 players.
Community, huh? Right.
Nah, it's true. He's better. The only one who's better than him right now from Duke in the last 10 years is Jason Tatum. Yeah, that's it. Let's call a spade a spade. That's the only one who's better than him. But it doesn't matter. That's my prediction for the Detroit series. That's it.
All right.
Cleveland.
We already know Boston's going to get Philly out of there.
Boston is 5. Excuse me.
The Knicks and the Hawks. Look, that's going 7.
No question.
Because there's only one perimeter scorer on the Knicks. Well, 2. Brunson and Clarkson. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker can make all that Jordan Clarkson stuff go away. And Dyson Daniels can make all that Jalen Brunson stuff go away.
Yeah, not a good matchup for the Knicks.
The Knicks are going to win that series, but it's going to go 7, and they are going to be worn out by the time they play Boston. Now, did they design their team to beat the Celtics? Sure.
Yeah.
But
they did design the team.
They're going to go 7 and wind up losing to Boston because of it.
Yeah, they're not beating Boston. First of all, they designed their team, but let's call it spade.
They did take the season series this year, and they did get Boston out of the playoffs last year. We cannot dismiss it. It's not a guarantee.
They did. But Bridges is not the defender that he once was, or like OG. I get that, but Bridges ain't the defender that he was even 3 years ago. Not even close. So, but regarding this series, Atlanta. The only thing the Knicks have a favor is Atlanta. When they come to Atlanta, it's like a New York home. It's like they're going to have 7 home games. I got to be real. The Knicks, there's so many Knicks fans here that it feels like a home game for the New York Knicks in Atlanta. So that's the only advantage. But I see this teams kind of evenly matched, to be honest with you. I think if Atlanta had an upgrade in the point guard position, I'd probably take Atlanta. They don't have a true point guard. I like CJ. But CJ, this is quicker. If you could come off the bench for Atlanta instead of being my point guard, and that's why if they hit in the draft, if they don't get the top 4, they got to take one of those point guards with the pick. But yeah, I like the move. I like that matchup. I think it's going to be the most entertaining series. But the Knicks will win in 7 games in New York.
And then the last one is Cleveland and Toronto. If NBA TV still broadcasts playoff games, that would be the NBA TV series. So I guess that's the Peacock series now. Is that who carries over the NBA TV series?
Yeah.
So that is the Peacock series. I mean, give me Cleveland, but boy, don't act like I'm not even going to pretend I'm going to be invested in that series. I'll be honest with you. I think there'll be some good games, but unless Peacock's got multi-view, once 8 o'clock comes, I will be switching over to the other game.
I'm probably not going to watch one of the games, but just see the highlights. I'm picking Cleveland in 5.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be a smoke session. No. I just think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a dragged out series between two teams who stand no chance of winning the second round series.
No, then you're wrong about your Detroit pick. You said Detroit's going to lose in the second round, so they'll have to lose to one of these teams.
Oh no, you're right. Oof. In that case, no, I might have to watch it because I do think both teams can beat Detroit. All right, yeah, because that's the 4-5. I take it back.
I think Cleveland could beat Detroit.
I think Toronto could. I really do.
Toronto got swept by Cleveland this year. You know that, right?
No, Toronto won that season series.
Oh, did they?
Yes, they gave Cleveland the blues.
Oh yeah. I read it wrong. And this was the thing. It was a lot of those games would be in November before James and stuff like that. Nah, Cleveland's better. Cleveland will win. Actually, I'll take a 6-game. Cleveland in 6.
I think it'll drag out. Yeah, I'll take back what I said. That's actually intriguing now. That's going to be a dragged out series. And I think both teams have a chance to get Detroit out of it. Whew. All right. Yeah, so the Peacock series is actually intriguing. I'll take it back. Out west. So we've got OKC against the winner of Golden State and Phoenix. I did not see Portland winning that game.
Shout out to Portland, though. I'm going to Phoenix on Friday, and I just bought tickets this morning to go to the playing game because I was going to Phoenix, and I was like, oh, shoot, the game's going to be there on Friday. So shout out to Portland for that. Whenever in Phoenix.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, Sean. I think you're going to see a great show.
Yeah.
One and only Wardell Stephen Curry II. You know, he has this amazing ability to inspire you and just make you believe. That's what Stephen Curry does to me. He makes me believe.
Yeah.
I believe that the Warriors will beat Phoenix. And I believe that Steph and Porzingis can give OKC issues because you look at that team and you say, you know what? Had that team stayed healthy, like they built their roster to kill any flaws that the old Warriors would have had. They had a 5 that can actually score now and play defense and space the floor on Kristaps Porzingis. That was the only weakness they ever had. Had they stayed healthy, they would have had a 10-man rotation of Steph, Podziemski, Jimmy, Draymond, and Porzingis. And off the bench, you would have had DeAnthony Melton, Moses Moody, Gui Santos, Al Horford, and Quentin Post. That team could compete with anyone in the West. So I am just like that, very frustrated that the Warriors got injured this year. I'm taking them to beat the Suns. They're not going to beat OKC, but man, they're going to fight their asses off. And I'm going to give a round of applause to Stephen Curry because next year, if they can get everyone back and just stay healthy, well, be healthy for the playoffs. Forget stay healthy. Just be healthy for the playoffs.
That's tough.
That's a team with one last run. Just one last run, and that's it. So Steve Kerr signed a 1-year extension this summer. 1-year extension, and then walk off and call it a career.
And you go get LeBron too. That's a possibility. He signs the vet minimum. If he's going to stay anyway, I think he's going to stay on the West Coast.
There is a chance.
You get LeBron. Yeah, no, if they're healthy and they found the guy, they have to bring Porzingis back. If he's healthy, I was watching him yesterday, I'm like, man, that guy could still play. He's only 30 years old. He's young. And with Horford, yeah, I agree. I do think. Actually, when I thought about buying to get tickets last night, I was like, I want to see the Warriors versus Suns. Kawhi, Miami, any of these teams who need a guy, go get Kawhi. Kawhi was special this year.
We got to talk about Kawhi though. We got to talk about him.
We do.
Game 7 last year.
Yep.
He was in last night.
Draymond locked him up.
Hey man, Kawhi, we walk around calling you Mr. Clutch Player and all that, but that's back-to-back disappearing acts, man. You came into the fourth with 19 points and you only scored 2. Draymond was up in it. Pause. Man.
Yeah. Pause.
Hey, Draymond, I know we talk a lot about you.
Locked him up. I said the stat. What was that? I'm looking right now. That stat yesterday, 51 times he matched up with them. He held him to 9 points on 8 shots in those matchups. Locked him up. I've never seen Kawhi get locked up like that. Draymond locked him up. Yes, I have to give him credit, and that gave me. I was like, "Yo, put Draymond on D Book or that's my game plan." So I'm going to go to State as well.
Book gets a little more jiggy than Kawhi. You know, Kawhi keep it real simple.
Yeah, a couple of in and out moves. Yeah,
I ain't gonna go there. You got a little too much dip on your chest right there, Sean. I can't get with you on that one.
In the clutch, I'm getting Draymond has to guard him.
In the clutch, go ahead. But
okay,
for a full 48 minutes, that might be a recipe for disaster. I'm be honest with you.
Twice this year, I seen Draymond lock up. Once Kevin Durant in that game when Steph didn't play. It was one after the All-Star game or before the All-Star game. I was like, man, I'm watching him. Like he locked. And then yesterday, he was on Kawhi like white on rice, man. He locked him up. That was the difference of the game. He shut Kawhi down. But it doesn't diminish. Kawhi showed me this year he can still be a franchise guy. Go get him, LA. The Lakers or the Miami Heat need to go get him.
What was so disheartening about it, though, is Darius Garland and Benedict Mathurin played their asses off. All Kawhi had to do was just keep it going, and they went by double digits last night.
Yeah, he got shut down. But I'm just confused with what that clip. We can talk about that when we have the offseason. What that Clippers direction is, or what that team is, because it doesn't make sense to have Kawhi with all those young guys.
Oh, he's going to be gone. Yeah, and they're going to build with Garland and Mathurin as their backcourt of the future. Kobe Sanders is probably going to fill in at that small forward spot. I like him. John Collins at the 4, and they're going to be looking for a 5 because they're going to offload Kawhi and Brook Lopez.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. But shout out to them with
sharing the season. That's a team that, with that core 4. You know, that's a team that's probably in the play-in next year. The only issue, because money's going to be a factor because they don't own their pick. They just gave the Thunder a lottery pick by losing last night. Oh, I got another interesting one for you. If the Hornets win tomorrow night, and the Suns lose, the Hornets will be in the playoffs and have a lottery pick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Listen, in this lottery, the way it works, you could be Miami, Charlotte, OKC in the back and move up. So, hey, Dallas done it. Atlanta did it the last couple of years. It's not one of those you need to be in the top 4. So it's a good draft for that. That'll be dope for Charlotte.
Yeah. Spurs going to sweep Portland. I mean, they own Portland historically in the playoffs. It's not even worth talking about. Denver and Minnesota, again, no two teams have played each other more frequently in the last 3 years. I don't think it's disrespectful beef, but it's competitive beef.
Competitive, yeah.
This Nuggets team, Chris Finch said it, is deeper than the team that lost to Minnesota 2 years ago. Nikola Jokic has unlocked a new level. Jamal Murray's playing the best basketball of his career. I said Denver 2 years ago. I was wrong. I'm fine with being wrong again. I'm taking Denver this time around too.
Denver and
I think what helped them the last time, Sean, was having Karl Towns and Rudy Gobert for Nikola Jokic. Now, both of them individually were known for getting their grits cooked by Jokic. But together, they could cause problems. Now, with Julius Randle, you're putting in that spot, and you don't have a second perimeter defender besides McDaniels to go ahead and give Jokic problems on the double team that teams have been using, and Mike Conley can't play. I don't think Minnesota has the team to be able to hang in there this time around.
I do think Watson, Gordon. I think they got. I think they're a better team than this time around. So they got more weapons. I think that. Yeah, I think Denver in 6. And by the way, I think OKC sweeps Golden State, maybe 5, or they sweep Golden State. I didn't make a prediction, but yeah, I think everything you say is accurate. But I just think they're just a better team this time around than that team that lost a couple years ago. So, and that team was only 5 deep. This team is not. This team is about 8, 9 deep. So I'm going Denver.
And then this last series, the business of the NBA really showed. So as we mentioned, 4 games on Saturday. 3 of them are going to Prime. ABC has its choice of 1, and ABC chose the Lakers. You look at the schedule. The Lakers won't be on Peacock at all this postseason. We just know that. But this first round, they won't be on Peacock at all. And they've got 2-3 days in between each of their games for Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves to recover. NBA wants its best team, well, its most notable franchise, on network television, and it wants the star players of that team to have an opportunity to get healthy. Both players are expected back at some point in the first round. Do you think they come back in time to be able to win this series?
So those are two different. Nah, I'm going Houston and Houston without those guys because they don't come back in 5. Houston, if those guys do somehow come back in 7. I just think it's really hard to turn it on, turn it off like this in the postseason. And who knows? If they come back, are they going to remember when James Harden came back with Brooklyn Nets a couple years ago? He wasn't James.
Yeah.
And that, so I don't know where they're going to be. Regardless, I have to go with Houston that they're a healthier team. I'm not in love with this Houston team like I thought I was going to be at the beginning of the season, but I just don't think you come back from a oblique like that and a hamstring and suddenly are back to what they were playing in March. So Houston, regardless.
I think it's as simple as this. The Lakers have no one who can guard Kevin Durant, and they have no one who can score on the Rockets. They're going to lose both games at Staples Center. Somebody probably rushes back to avoid getting swept in Houston. This series, I mean, if it touches 6 games, it's a win for the Lakers. But the Rockets are winning this series.
If I'm the Lakers, the season's a win because you realize you can build around Luka and Reeves. I wasn't a big fan of it, and you found some people who you can put with them on. I think Smart's a keeper. I think LaRavier's a keeper. I like Kennard. So that you found some pieces, and now you have all this cap space over the next couple summers. I think it's a win. You have your core. Go from there. I know we want the LeBron, Luka, and then no, it's not. That's not what the league's going right now. So, if you get, I'm not rushing those 2 guys back.
If you want to sell me on Smart, Reeves, and Luka as your starting 3-guard lineup, I'm somewhat open to it. But you got to get a real versatile power forward that can play a lot of defense, and you got to get a rim protector. You got to get somebody who can go out there and guard the best wing, and Luka have to just be a body on a stretch 4. But even then, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's doable. I don't know if it's a championship team. I'm still of the belief of replacing Smart and Reeves and getting a point guard next to Luka and another wing that can play some defense and score.
I gotta be honest, man. You got to get over that whole get a point guard next to K, James, Luka.
These teams don't win without him. They don't win without him. So I'm keeping. Hey, I mean, I'm not wrong about it. If they're probably not going to do it, but hey, they're going to keep losing, and I'm going to keep being right. So who cares?
I think Luka. What I would actually do is go get Kawhi, build around him and Luka, and go from there.
Yeah,
I'll get the regular pieces.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go forward.
Yeah, and then if I could, Lopez could still play in the league. It's a little older team. Just till you find someone, you got your draft pick this year. I'm gonna make it work. But I gotta go get Kawhi. Kawhi, you don't want to leave LA. You can still do it, but now you have someone else who's on that level. I'm gonna go get Kawhi. That's my number 1 option this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it for the playoffs, right?
That's it for the playoffs. Yep.
All right, Sean, it has been a week in Major League Baseball. Jeremiah Jackson looks like a keeper for my Orioles. Gunnar Henderson is hitting home runs off of lefties. Jordan Walker is leading baseball in home runs. Sal Stewart looks great for the Cincinnati Reds. What's catching your eye this week?
My boy Ben Rice from my New York Yankees. He's off to a solid start, batting 3-something. What's really catching my eyes is like, oh man, here we go. The Dodgers look good. Dodgers are 14-4. They look really, really good. And I like that stat you sent me about the San Diego Padres winning 3 straight games for walk-offs. But
Multi-home run walk-offs.
Multi-home run walk-offs too. And another thing, I went to the Braves game a couple of days ago. Yo, Acuna, he finally hit his first home run during that game. But there's so much talent on that team. I'm still surprised. They got off to a really bad start last year. This year, they are off to a 12-7 start. I really like the talent on that team. I do think that in the AL East, the Mets look horrible right now. I think
NL East, yeah, because apparently
NL East.
Lindor and Soto had beef. It's just not enough room for two Latino stars on the team or something. I don't know.
You know who they're gonna choose.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's not Frankie. You better tighten up because they're choosing Juan over you any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
So I do think the NL East is more wide open because I thought coming to the year I had Philly and the Mets as my favorites, but the Braves have a lot of talent where that middle of the order could do damage with any team in baseball. I'm not really sold on their bullpen yet, but those are the things that catch my eyes. But it looks like the Dodgers are the cream of the crop.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the Padres who won 7 straight. And I mean, I look at the Diamondbacks who just got themselves a gritty series win against the Orioles. I mean, the NL West is, again, 3 teams who can compete. The Giants, I'm done on. I don't want to hear about the Giants for 10 years. I don't care. They're just
not enough talent. Let's call it space. There's not enough talent on that team.
I don't know what they do in the off seasons. I don't know what their plans are. Like, they just seem to have no direction to me. The Phillies, again, told you, Sean. This is it for them. This is it.
You've been saying that.
You know, Alec Boehm hates it there, stinks in the field, inconsistent at the plate. Now he's suing his parents and fired Scott Boras. I mean, everything in the world goes on in Philly, but when in baseball, they're done for. But the Mets, yeah, listen, you got to choose between the two. You choose Soto. But I don't know if a locker room beef is all that you got going on. I mean, how many seasons are you going to try to buy your team and invest all this money and it results in doodly squat? How many times? This is going to be like the 3rd time in 4 years that they're top 3 in payroll and just don't even stand a chance at winning a damn thing. At some point, you have to buy a team that complements each other. Actually, forget that. You have to build a team instead of trying to buy a team. Because you look at that pitching staff, and there's no reason for you not to have one of the lowest team ERAs in baseball. You look at the infield. Bichette and Lindor as your middle infielders. Well, no, they're probably on the left side of the bag because you got Marcus Semien there also. Somebody's got to step up and just do their damn job. Luis Robert was a gamble. Soto is not available right now. I mean, I just at some point you got to get sick of wasting your money if you're Mets ownership. That's where I'm at with them. Houston, you've lost 8 of your last 10. They might be coming up on the end of their run, to be honest with you. Shout out to the Athletics doing their thing in Sacramento. We'll see how long that lasts. If they're really dedicated to trying to be a winner for Vegas, then hats off to the A's. But, hey, Toronto, I'm concerned, man. World Series hangover looks real. Lost 7 of their last 10, just like the Yankees. Meanwhile, Toronto's won 8 of its last. I mean, Tampa has won 8 of its last 10, and they're sitting pretty at the top of the AL East. Toronto, Boston, rough starts for teams that talented.
Crochet got killed by Minnesota.
He's not looking good.
He got killed. Well, again, another thing. It's gonna be a weekend in Phoenix. I'm going to the Arizona-Toronto game on Sunday, so I want to see Toronto. I want to see Guerrero. He's one of the most entertaining players. So I'm excited to see him play. But I do want to see them up front. I'm just confused because they have rotations really good. Well, on paper, why they're off to a sluggish start. But I'm not worried about Toronto. I think Toronto will be fine. The team I'm worried about in the AL East is the Rays. They're always sneaky. No one's really like ever. And then they have these years they win 95 games or something like that. And you're like, what the hell did they come from? That's the team I'm more worried about in the American League East as a Yankee fan. Is be like, no, I kind of know what we got from Baltimore and all these other teams, but the Blue Jays will be bounced back. But the Rays are going to be sneaky better than anybody expects. And again, if I'm looking at the standings right now, it's not like the Red Sox are out of it. They're 3.5 games out. Toronto 3 games out. Your Orioles a game and a half out. It's going to be tougher and closer than we all think.
Yeah, no one's out of it. It's too early in the season to call anyone out. But I mean, you can be very concerned. But
no, the White Sox won't win. Come on, let's call it spade a spade. And the Colorado Rockies.
You're right. You're right. I won't even argue with you on those two. But I mentioned Sal Stewart, right? Cincinnati. I like that young core they're building over there. Sal Stewart in 18 games, 7 homers, 17 runs batted in, 13 walks, 4 doubles, 3 stolen bases. No rookie has ever reached all of those numbers over an 18-game span since RBI became an official stat in 1920. Got him, Dela Cruz, Steer. Cincy. If Cincy and Pittsburgh, that rivalry can renew, and that can be the race for the NL Central every year, and they actually keep their guys, Pittsburgh, call schemes, whatever. That would be real fun for baseball. Very, very fun. That was must-see TV in the 70s.
That would be great for baseball because I think some of these teams in the Midwest baseball is better when the Midwest is also vibrant in baseball. Yes. It's not just the coastal teams, right? So I'm not opposed to that. But I would say this about Pittsburgh. There's no way Skeens is ever signing any type of extension with you. So it's sad, but there's no way. He was the kind of kid you had to sign before he came up to the league.
Yeah.
He's not signing no extension. He'll be there for his 7 years and he'll be a free agent at 26, 27 years old. He'll be the richest pitcher in baseball history at the time.
All right, Sean. I've been waiting to talk about this one for about a week now. So, former Kansas City Chief Charles Omenihu went on a speakeasy with Emmanuel Acho. And they were asking him who's more difficult to game plan for and play against out of Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. He said he hasn't figured Josh Allen out yet. But Josh is the toughest to game plan for. The issue is Josh will hand you a win with his turnovers. Said Lamar Jackson's easy. Stand 5 at him, watch his pocket collapse, and watch him pitch down his leg in the process. And this is me making a long story short. Sean, the Chiefs are 3-time Super Bowl champions, and they absolutely own Lamar Jackson. This has to be an indictment, right? Like this has to mean something. I'm not bugging out on this one.
I thought it was disrespectful. I gotta be honest to say you figured out a 2-time MVP, but you didn't figure out the 1-time MVP. Because this is the thing.
Anything?
Oh, let me finish. I think it's disrespectful because when you say you figuring them out, that means you're the only. Then the whole league should have figured them out right now. But I think Lamar is a better passer than Josh Allen of the football. I think he's more accurate. I think he's a better passer than Josh Allen with the football. So what are you talking about figuring them out? Like, are you figuring out their scheme? Like, it's easy to start. I don't think it's easier to start Lamar Jackson than it is to start Josh Allen, actually. Because I think Josh is more prone to make more mistakes than Lamar Jackson in the regular season. Look at their touchdowns to turnover ratio and all that stuff like that, interceptions. So when you say, I thought that was really disrespectful because I'm like, but it's not clearly that Josh is better than if he said Patrick Mahomes. I get that, but it's not a clear difference. I think them in the same plane sometimes, and he's not a better passer of the football than Josh Allen. So and he turns the ball over. Josh turns the ball over just as more than Lamar. So what do you mean you figured this person out? You force Josh to make a plays in the pocket, he might F up. Lamar F's up in the postseason, but to say you figured him out, I just can't co-sign that. And you played him once in the postseason, right? Lamar and the Chiefs played once in the postseason.
Yeah, and they played many times in the regular season, and I can tell you how those have gone too.
And they played a lot of times in Josh Allen in the postseason. So I was kind of confused. I'm like, figuring them out. Like, what are you talking about?
Who's the one that beats the Chiefs in the regular season? Is it Allen or Lamar?
Allen.
Who's the one who pushes them to the last possession in the playoffs every time they play? Allen or Lamar?
Allen.
Okay.
They played more times.
Who's the one with a terrible record, terrible completion percentage, terrible touchdown to interception ratio against the Chiefs? Allen or Lamar?
Pretty sure it's Lamar. I don't know.
Yeah, by far. So how are you going to tell a starter on the Chiefs who's playing these guys and has the numbers to show Josh Allen gives them more trouble than Lamar Jackson? How are you going to tell him he's being disrespectful and saying that his team, with statistical evidence, has figured out Lamar? They have. They killed him.
Is it him or is it Steve Spagnuolo who figured out Lamar?
That's what he's speaking on behalf of.
No, but the thing is this: when you say you figured someone out, it's like the Kobe stop. Hold on, it's like the Kobe stopper. I remember this a long time ago. We what was it, Patterson or something.
Patterson.
Yeah. So yes, they've played in the regular season. If you figured them out, why doesn't other teams use the blueprint to do that?
The Steelers do it. Go check Lamar's win-loss record and touchdown interception ratio against Pittsburgh. Go look hold on. The Bills have a winning record against Lamar Jackson. Go look at the game plan that Detroit had for Lamar Jackson. Go look at, now he came back and won this game. Go look at the scheme that the Indianapolis Colts had for him on Monday Night Football a few years ago. Go look at, I remember Brian Flores against Lamar Jackson, Thursday Night Football, Dolphins and Ravens, where they sent the zero blitz at him every play, and he couldn't do anything about it. That is the blueprint to beating Lamar Jackson. It's not just the Chiefs who do it. There are many teams who do it. Every team who beats the Ravens knows, hey, just send 5 or 6 at them, and it's over with. That is out there. That is not just exclusive to the Chiefs. So when the Chiefs say they have figured him out, they have every right in the world to say they figured him out. And there are teams in the NFL who copy and paste the same game plan, and it does wonders for them.
But then why is he a two-time MVP?
What does that mean?
Because you say figure it out. When you're one of the greats, you can't figure it out.
Is he speaking for the league or is he speaking for the Chiefs, Sean?
Listen,
he is speaking for the Chiefs who have Lamar Jackson figured out. Do the Chiefs have Lamar Jackson figured out? Yes or no?
I'll play Lamar. Lamar has not played against the best against him.
Do the Chiefs have his number? Yes
no. Absolutely, they do.
So why can't the Chiefs say they have Lamar Jackson figured out?
Because I just think it's
3 Super Bowls. He's one who's got nothing but an 0-1 record in the conference championship, and has never won 2 playoff games in the same postseason.
All right. Well, you know what I'll say is disrespectful. Who is that guy? Who is he?
Charles Omenihu, starting defensive end, Kansas City Chiefs, multi-time Super Bowl champion. What are you talking about? Why can't he say that?
Hold on. When 10, 15, 20 years from now, we ain't gonna remember who he is. We're gonna talk 10, 15. I don't want to hear from you. I gotta be honest. I don't want to hear from you. Like, I don't want to hear that from you.
So now the message don't matter. It's only the messenger. That's the question.
Yeah. No. Yo, I'm gonna hold you to the fire. You don't want to hear the Celtics players talk, right? They won, right? So they have every right to talk.
What's
right?
that got to do with this?
No, hold on. I'm gonna use this example. They talk. People talk. They talk like they said Perkins, or who said Dre. Perkins talks like he won, right? So everybody deserves to talk. No, there's levels. If KG says something and Perkins says something, KG holds more weight. That guy, who is this guy? He ain't Travis Kelce. He ain't Matthew. He ain't any of those guys. Why are you talking? That's what I'm saying. You can't play. Who is he to be talking about Lamar Jackson like that?
Super Bowl champion.
Kendrick Perkins should talk.
Kendrick Perkins. Hold on. I'm gonna say it again. The Chiefs have been to multiple. My issue with the Cavs and the Celtics is what, Sean?
That one title.
One title. What's that got to do with the team that has won 3 and been to more?
Mm-hmm.
It's totally unrelated. Is Charles Omenihu Chris Jones? No. But if you're asking him, hey, which one of these quarterbacks has given your team more trouble? He's not qualified to give an answer that is backed up by the win-loss record and the statistics.
All right, that's fine. But I think we could probably, I have to look at the statistics, but I think Burrow probably has given them the most trouble about any team. Any of these quarterbacks.
The question was out of Lamar and Josh Allen.
Okay. Well, he should have.
He answered the question that was given to him.
Okay, then that's fair because the stats. I get that the stats prove that part.
And it ain't like he went out of his way to say this. He was asked.
But to say you figured someone
out of nowhere. Oh man, let me tell you about when I was some all-time great Celtic. He went on a podcast. He was asked by his Nigerian brother to come on the podcast and kick it with them for the week. Went on a podcast. They just so happened to ask him, hey, you played for the Chiefs for the last 3 years. You're heading to Washington. Hey, we know who the hierarchy of quarterbacks is in the AFC. Which one out of Lamar and Allen gave you more issues? It wasn't unprovoked. He was asked, he answered, and he gave the right damn answer. So what have we got our panties in a bunch for? I don't
No. But to say you figure, I would have been like, oh, Josh, and the proof's in the pudding. Look, Josh has given us more trouble. He's won more against us. He's played better against us. But say you figured him out, like, that's a big statement.
Now, if he'd have just said we figured him out and left it at that, you'd have somewhat of an argument. But he said we figured him out, said exactly what the scheme was, and the tape backs up that the scheme has worked. He didn't say anything wrong.
Well, eventually they're gonna have to face the Ravens at some point, right? I at some point they'll face the Ravens again.
Their ass again.
We'll see. Because you figure it out. That means every single time.
We're talking about 3 Super Bowls to general appearances.
No. I'm not talking about. Listen, how many?
We're talking about established winners, a dynasty versus a locker room of choke artists. What are we talking about here?
Absolutely. Josh Allen has played better against him, but Josh still has those Super Bowl appearances as well.
The question is, who plays the Chiefs better? Josh Allen.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I can answer that. You can say that. But do you think they figured him out that they can't, he cannot?
That's my thing. I watch them. They pissed out. Every time they see the team, they don't see the coach or something. They get terrified. You look at Lamar Jackson and you can see the doodle stains in the crease of his pants. He is against the Chiefs. What are we talking about?
I would say
we just got Sam Darnold had the same exact defense as Lamar Jackson. Super Bowl with that Super Bowl before Lamar Jackson. Why are we defending this guy? What are we talking about? He has
good point.
He's above reproach. You can't say anything about Lamar Jackson. Just Lamar Jackson.
No. But this is the thing. I grew up in an era that quote unquote the Patriots figured out Peyton Manning. And at some point, hold on. But at some point, it turned.
I take that back. No, Peyton Manning just sucked in the playoffs. Period.
Yeah, but at some point, the tide turned and they beat the Patriots a couple times to get to the Super Bowl. And then when he went to Denver, even when he was a shell of himself, they beat the Patriots and Tom Brady in that AFC Championship game. So let's pump the brakes.
Beat the Patriots.
All right, but that time when they scored 47 points in the AFC Championship in 2020. They were down and they came back and beat the Patriots. That was Peyton Manning in them. You know what I'm saying? That was prime Peyton Manning. I get that. And then a couple other times they beat them in the postseason. So I'm not saying the tides could turn. Peyton Manning beat Tom Brady in the postseason in the Patriots.
We're talking about right now. Peyton Manning, his Broncos, his coach, they had to earn the right to make people stop saying the Patriots had them figured out.
And Lamar has to
even then, Brady walked away with 6 in the AFC to Manning's 2. So either way, how you slice it, I don't give a damn. Tom Brady has something for Peyton Manning. Right now, Lamar Jackson has to go out there and earn the right to say the Chiefs don't have my number. He has not earned that right yet. So until then, yeah, I'm going to say the Chiefs are his owner, his dog walker, his diaper changer, and everything under the sun.
All right. Well, I just thought figure it out. It's a tough statement because he ain't. He's talking about a two-time MVP. I think that's crazy. At some point, he can figure them out and win.
Do with what he does against the Chiefs? What does that got to do about what he does against the Chiefs?
All right, I'm not. You're more emotionally invested in Lamar, as you should. He has not produced, right? And I completely agree with that. But at some point, I would put my money on it that he will produce at some point. That's it.
54%, 51%, 53%. He got what he threw for 97 yards against the Chiefs. 97 passing yards. Are you serious?
You can't back it up. I can't say anything. Like Lamar has become, if you want to call him the James Harden against the Chiefs, cool. In the post, cool. I can't defend it. But do I think that figured him out, or is he just? I don't think it's going to be a career thing. I just don't.
That's fine. But we're talking about right now.
Right now, he figured it out. Right now. And those words might come and bite him. If I'm Lamar, I'm hearing that. I got that. If you were a true competitor,
Lamar hears what's being said about him every offseason and doesn't do a damn thing about it. Stop this. Y'all got some real false image of who Lamar Jackson is. He ain't nothing but Tony Romo on legs, man. I'm sick of this.
He's better than this.
But I'm saying, stop acting like he didn't accomplish something in his career.
But the problem is that what I said at the beginning, I don't think Josh is, and I think Josh is the second best quarterback, but I don't think he's a better passer than Lamar. And I don't think he is a better runner of the football than Lamar.
Yeah, but he owns Lamar in the head-to-head, and he plays the Chiefs better than Lamar Jackson does. So what the hell does it matter?
That game that opened the night, was it Lamar who lost that game, or was that defense who lost that game?
I think Josh Allen got his team up the field for the game-winning drives.
Absolutely correct.
I think Lamar Jackson didn't put up any points in the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter to keep the Bills at bay. I was there.
That's fine.
Matter of fact, but I had the view to where I'm sitting right behind. I had the all-22 view of where I was sitting. I'm sitting right behind Lamar Jackson. I'm seeing it.
They score 41 points, and you lose the football game.
Now, look,
come on.
You can't, but you obviously can't blame but for so much for that. But the head-to-head record is still what it is.
I'm just saying the last matchup.
That's all I got to say.
I agree. I just say the last matchup, you score 41 points and you can't win that game. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't. I don't know. Brady scored 40-something points, 30-something points, had 500 yards in the Super Bowl. We don't blame Tom Brady for that Super Bowl loss. We don't.
I'm way more open to listening to the gap between Allen and Lamar. I'm way more open to listening to that than listening to the Chiefs don't have a right to say they got Lamar Jackson figured out. They've earned every right to say that. If I were on that Chiefs defense, I'd be talking the same jive.
By the way, the NBA just approved Luka and Kate Cunningham's challenge for the 65-game rule, making them both eligible for the awards.
There you go. Well, congrats on first team. Luka.
Cade should have definitely, because that was a freak accident, but I don't understand why Luka got his. I don't think that makes sense.
What did he have? I don't know.
62 games, 63 games, but I still don't
remember he went overseas to go see the birth of his child. I think he missed like 2 games for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, then conversation null and void. All right.
Different. All right. The Sean is goodness. Sean, the draft is a week from tonight, right?
Yep.
You got some thoughts? 1 week out?
Yeah. What is it? I keep watching NFL Network. A lot of teams trying to trade down. So my thing is, this is probably the least in the last couple of years I've been enthused by an NFL draft. It's going to be a lot of good players. Every draft has good players. But it doesn't seem like it has that excitement about it because maybe it's not a bunch of quarterbacks, not a bunch of
Sean, running backs. Be honest, you're Mr. Quarterback. You should be honest. You're not hyped about the draft because it's not quarterback happy. You can be honest.
Yeah, it's not
come on, me and our listeners, we've been with you for coming up on 7 years now, man. 6. My fault.
6.
Come on. We know you just ain't happy about the lack of quarterbacks. You can be honest.
It's,
We got to be the guy to push.
Right. Yeah, it's not a great quarterback class. So the quarterbacks are what we watch, and that's what we pay for, and that's what I do. Like, I'm not going to go watch Trevor Lawrence versus, I don't know, name a quarterback, right? Who's below average.
No. Mr. Trevor Lawrence is the crown prince and the heir to the throne in the NFL. Not too long ago. Now you don't want to pay your money to go see Trevor Lawrence. Okay.
Oh, so you're gonna go pay to see? I'm not gonna go pay to see Trevor Lawrence. Why would I go do that? Like,
I go watch the Jaguars against a good team. If I
okay.
First of all, I don't pay my money to go watch bad teams in any sport. I've done it once in my life, and that's because my uncle was in town. So I'm like, the hell with it. We might as well go get some cheap ass Wizards tickets to go see the Warriors. That's cool. I don't pay my money to see bad teams.
No, the Jags are better.
Not for the NFL. Boy, I can be at home watching Red Zone having a good time rather than going to see a bad team.
I agree. I'm not going to go pay to watch the Miami Dolphins play the New York Jets this year. I'd rather just be home. That doesn't make sense to me. But I was just use that as an example. So the quarterbacks is a lack of quarterback. But I'm just very curious. You probably know more about me because I have not been paying to the draft as I usually am. Why is more teams willing to trade down this year than to trade up?
I have no clue because
it's crazy.
A lot of good position players in this draft. This is a deep draft. If you need a receiver, you can get one. If you need a corner, you can get one. If you need an offensive lineman, you can get one. If you need a tight end, you can get one. You need a running back, you can get one. You need a safety, you can get one. This draft is low on quarterbacks and linebackers. After that, you can get what you need out of this draft. So the whole trade down thing, what are you talking about? Hey, Jerry Jones, I like that you are taking advantage of some of these dumb GMs and you're on the phones like, hey, I got 2 picks. I will move up. If y'all were talking about trading down, y'all missing out on some good value here.
If I'm a team like Dallas, Cincinnati, Kansas City, those teams are like in the 9 to 15 range.
Kansas City is 9 exactly.
9. Okay. I would trade up in this draft because I do think if Cincinnati could hit on the defense, I like their moves this offseason. But if I could go get Caleb Downs or one of these linebackers, I'm going to do that. I'm dead serious because I feel like you're not too far removed with some great moves this offseason to be able to contend, especially in a division that I don't think is overly tough right now. So I'm like, why not? If I'm Kansas City, I think I could compete next year if Mahomes plays week 1. And that's what he's trending to do. You know what I'm saying? In Dallas, I think Jerry has a track record. We can say whatever we want, but they draft well in Dallas. Why not add to it? And I don't think that division is overly tough like it was. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion with the Eagles. So if I'm in that range and everybody's talking about trading now and it's overly good with position players on those teams, they're pretty much, they need position players. Those are the teams I'm trading up for. And if I'm Tennessee, the Jets and stuff, why not move back, get more capital? We got to build it for the long term. Those are the 3 teams I would be interested. Because I'm going to watch the draft to see what moves they make in the draft because they're not far away from contending again if they hit on the right draft players.
Number one, I'm gonna need them to move the the NFL draft up so that it's not competing with the NBA playoffs. That needs to be it. Then the NFL draft needs to be the last Thursday of the NBA season. Let's get that out the way.
No, you know that the NFL does whatever they want.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it'd be very convenient for me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'd love it. But listen, I got one player I'm going to talk about here, and I just need these teams to really get serious. We ain't drafting Todd Simpson in the first round. We ain't doing it. And the only reason Mendoza is going number 1 is because Vegas needs a quarterback.
Yeah, Mendoza's not that talented like that.
We ain't I wouldn't be mad if Vegas traded down and said we'll wait until something comes up eventually. Listen, you're gonna stop talking yourself into quarterback just because someone told you that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to overvalue the quarterback. No. That's how you lose jobs. That's why all these GMs are in a revolving door. Because they keep on trying to sell their souls for these terrible ass quarterbacks. No. We ain't drafting Ty Simpson in the first round. That's all. I'm gonna just leave it at that. We are not drafting Ty Simpson in the first round. Pittsburgh, whoever, we ain't doing it this year, man. I'm not watching it happen.
He's gonna go in the first round. Like, it's just what it is. I don't think he's a first round quarterback. I do not like any of these quarterbacks. Mendoza. It's funny because I kept saying when I watched the game against Ohio State, the Big Ten championship, I was like, he reminds me of Kirk Cousins, and now he's probably going to be under Kirk Cousins. Like, simple. I think I'm more happy for Raiders fans because Kubiak, if you could win a Super Bowl, no disrespect to Sam Darnold, I'm just saying that. If you could win and put the right talent, he has a system in place. He's a genius that he can make it work. So getting Mendoza, Kirk Cousins, they're going to make it work in Vegas. Excuse me, I was going to say Los Angeles. But it's just not a great class. But Jeremiah Love, again, if I'm Dallas, even if I'm Cincinnati, I'm looking at him like, maybe if we can't stop anyone, we control the line of scrimmage and run the football. That might be a change of thought if I'm Cincinnati. Like, that might be your best offense. Your best defense might be your offense this year. Like, you got to change your thought.
Jamar Chase and T. Higgins got to get their touches. They ain't doing that.
Yeah, they ain't doing that. But that's the problem.
Got to get his numbers. They ain't doing that.
And that's the problem. That's why they're going to be where they're at. But
now with Dallas, I think they've got so many defensive needs, and Javonte Williams gave them more than enough last year. I don't think Love would be smart for them. Draft defense, I'm in favor of them moving up because Dallas will hit on every offensive pick in the draft with no problem. But when they start drafting defense is when they start struggling. So if they want to trade up to make sure they just get a surefire, can't miss guy on defense, I'm in favor of that. But they can get themselves a second running back to complement Williams later in the draft. I really don't see many teams where it just makes sense to go get Jeremiah Love in the first
round. Yeah, it's true. It's not like they're one piece away. And if I'm Dallas, I'm going to spend this on my first round picks on defense. Because again, I like the Dallas's offense and I like what they did last year. I just think they need more impact plays on defense. Dallas is not too far away if they hit on these draft picks.
Yeah, I'm looking. If Cleveland wants to get Love, no, they need a receiver more than anything. So I'm take them out of it. If the Saints want to do what I might understand. After that, I mean, you're going to have a hard time convincing me it's worth for somebody. Maybe Minnesota at 18. Woof. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's only a select few spots he can go, and I'm like, all right, I'm fine with it in the first round. And I hate to be the guy, bashing running backs in the first round. He's talented enough to be in the first round. But if you've got more pressing needs, don't do it.
I like I actually like the Minnesota pick up if he drops that low. I like that a lot.
All right. We got some quick ones here. Louisville basketball, Sean. Spending money. The Cardinals have already signed Flory Bedinga and Jackson Shelstad in this transfer portal class, and Carter Knox. I mean, at some point, it's got to translate into another deep tournament.
I like this because what Indiana and Michigan showed you, if you can get some guys through the transfer portal, little high school guys here and there, recruit, I think you can be in the national championship game like that. So I like that about where college basketball is in this part. Obviously, I wouldn't want anybody transferring as much as possible, but I like them. You got to play, and those 3 pickups are really, really good for them.
I mean, I think you got the best point guard in the portal in Shelstad. Flory Bedinga, listen, they had him as the number 1 player in the portal and a $2 million player. I don't know about all of it. Me personally. Will he be good in the ACC? Yes. I think he got overpaid. Shelstad and Knox, you're filling the pieces around them. I think Louisville can find their way into the second weekend this season. Again, my thing with the portal is just paying guys for the sake of paying them thing. Some of these guys, they ain't that level. But in what world? We live in a weird world, Sean, because we got guys going from starter, key player at Kansas to transferring to Louisville. Bishop Boswell, starter on the Elite 8 Tennessee team, to transfer to Maryland.
Money.
Now, we got guys transferring just for the sake of transferring at this point.
It's hard. Some of these guys. Do you think any of those three guys on the bottom of our screen are going to play in the league?
No. And I like Shelstead, but his size, I mean, he would have gone to the league already if he weren't just, like 6 flat, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So I am not mad at them because you got to maximize your earnings.
Yeah, and I mean, this is going to be his last stop. Shelstead was at Oregon for the longest, and now he's going to finish his career at Louisville. That's cool. Yeah. But I don't get guys who you're already at a great spot, played well at that great spot, and then you're moving for what? The money ain't that serious, man. It ain't.
What is this? I hate to say this, because not all education is equal in each school. So I don't want to say that disrespectfully. But if you're going to graduate with a bachelor's degree, maybe a master's degree, Maryland, Tennessee.
True, transfer messes up your credits. It's not every school accepts your credits from your last school.
But most people don't make millions of dollars in their lives. These kids have a chance to make millions of dollars in a 4-year span. It might be the most money they ever make in their life. That's all I can say.
They're going to go overseas. Their money ain't stopping no time soon.
They getting $2-3 million to play overseas now?
Hey, overseas players is making some bank. Yeah, about 2-3 a year. You can get that overseas these days. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know the overseas market. I'm surprised by that. If you get $2-3 million overseas, then maybe that's a whole different conversation.
All right. Rounding it out with North Carolina. Mike Malone's on the move. Just brought in former Providence head coach Kim English to be on his staff, and then got Nicholas Avdalas from Virginia Tech, who I thought should have declared for the draft. I think that's a better version of Igor Deming. Just like that, I think Carolina's they're trending in the right direction under Mike Malone. I'm glad he got somebody who understands college basketball.
Exactly, I was going to say. Exactly. He needed that guy, his right-hand man, associate head coach, who knows college basketball.
Yeah.
And so he knows. He was at Villanova, right? English?
Where was Kim before Providence?
I forgot where he was at, but he was somewhere. Or was it Villanova, Virginia? So I can't remember. But he knows college basketball. He's been around. So that was very key. And more I think about it, the development, I saw
George
USC.
Mason.
George Mason.
Assistant at Tulsa, assistant at Colorado, assistant at Tennessee, head coach at George Mason, then head coach at Providence.
Okay. And so what I like is that North Carolina put out this meme of all the people that Mike Malone has helped develop. I thought that was funny. I'm like, yo, that's gonna be your calling card, and you're an NBA champion. No other coach in college basketball has that resume right now. So utilize it, and you got North Carolina, you got that Jordan Brand money. It's on the uptick for North Carolina.
What they need though, because some of Hubert's biggest freshman commits have decommitted. They got to get some of those guys to come back.
Which I get.
Well, if Mike says, I don't like their style of play, then that's fine. But if he likes them, they got to get them back.
Yeah. He's going to be able to recruit. I think that this year, in the next 2-3 years, North Carolina will be back in that conversation consistently. Duke, they have to be where Duke is. That's the level. That's the bar. Every year we need to have you in the top 10 preseason polls. Simple as that. Yep.
All right. You got anything else for me?
No, we all good.
All right. Well, we'll be back sometime next week. Enjoy the last 2 games of the play-in. Enjoy the first games of the playoffs. We out of here.
Yeah.